I don't need to tell you how challenging it's gotten for you as a plastic surgeon to attract good quality patients that convert to paid procedures. But here's the thing, anybody can get leads. Surgeons tell me regularly they pay top dollar for website design and Google AdWords, and they invest their valuable time answering questions on directories like RealSelf to help keep these leads coming in. But here's what typically happens. These same plastic surgeons are excited the phones are ringing and they're getting new lead notifications from their website folks. Their staff's working double time, evenings and weekends, to be the first responder that gets to the prospective patient before the competitors do. Now this busyness makes the surgeon feel in control because if they're so busy, they must be successful, right? But that's when the cracks start to show. The staff is complaining they're too busy and they need to hire more people to take the pressure off of them. Or the leads are perceived to be of poor quality and they're discarded as price shoppers, so your staff brushes them off and throws them in the dead lead pile. Or your staff turnover increases because they feel overworked and underpaid. They're like overwhelmed with juggling the phones, new consults, preparing quotes, admin, returning calls, pre-op and post-op visits, all while you expect them to provide great customer service. And then to top it off, you start second guessing the quality of the leads in comparison to the time, the money, and the effort you and your staff put into these leads that aren't booking. But you stay the course and you think about hiring more staff, but you already pay a healthy amount of overhead to staff, salaries, benefits, and incentives. So you tell your staff they have to generate more revenues before you can afford the additional staff. But they told you it would take more staff before they can generate more revenues. So you go around and around. So what do? You stop and ask smarter questions such as, how do we make money? The answer is by performing surgeries and other big ticket procedures, right? So here's what you do. You focus on the 3 money-making profit centers generating the most revenues. And here they are. Number 1, new cosmetic surgery patient lead generation. Obviously, this is one of the most important ways to grow your practice. If your phone doesn't ring, you won't get any appointments and consultations and procedures. But as you'll see, busy phone lines are not necessarily a guarantee for profits. What is the best way to generate new leads for your practice? Well, is it SEO? Now this is where you give thousands of dollars per month to technical people to use their expertise to get you ranked over the millions of other websites competing for search engine rankings. But it's difficult to understand what you get for your investment when you watch your rankings go up and down because Google changes the rules whenever they feel like it. So you're in the dark about how this all works. You hope the guys you pay know what they're doing, right? So maybe it's pay per click, otherwise known as Google AdWords. Now this one costs money and expertise since you're bidding on keywords against your competitors. Now a big budget is needed here because you need to outbid your competitors to ensure your ads rank. However, you also need super good copy and a sales funnel that leads the would-be patient who clicked on your ad through to your message to encourage them to call for an appointment. So maybe it's directories. Now they're super popular, they were a few years ago until Google decided they were gaming the system for search results. So most of them were delisted and many practices saw their rankings plummet overnight. Now RealSelf is one directory Google favors, but it comes with its own challenges. You are the content and must monitor, read questions, and provide answers regularly and consistently. Or you can also pay thousands per month for their spotlights, but usually the good keywords are already taken. So maybe it's social media. Now this includes Instagram, Snapchat, blogging, your fan page, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and many more social media sites that help you get in front of more prospective patients. Now this lead generating channel costs time because it's all about real-time communications and connecting with would-be cosmetic patients. However, the social media audience tends to be younger and they're very distracted, so it's tough to monetize. It's also difficult to track results since there can be a lot of clicking going on and you can lose track of the referral source. But here's the thing, patient lead generation is just the first step. It's what you do with these leads you get that changes everything. For example, here's number 2, lead conversion. How well does your receptionist convert callers into appointments? Now, it's great if your phone's ringing off the hook, but if your receptionist doesn't convert these callers into appointments, it really doesn't matter. your receptionist conversion rate will have a dramatic impact on your bottom line. So it's vital to your success to keep an eye on this part of your practice. Next, how many of the prospective patients who book an appointment actually show up? Now, if it's an issue in your practice, please charge a consultation fee or at least a reservation fee to hold their spot. And then how well does your patient care coordinator convert these leads? So let's say they did show up for their consultation. Did they book a procedure? Everything that happened until this point is just pre-marketing. You don't get paid for consultations. You only get paid if you can successfully convert that consultation into a paid procedure. Therefore, this step has the biggest impact on your bottom line. The better you convert consultations into procedures, the more revenues you'll make for your practice. Now here's number 3, lead follow-up. How frustrating is it to spend a ton of money, staff time, and resources on internet marketing for new cosmetic patient leads, only to have those very leads come in as prospective patients and leave as prospective patients still? You can't afford to waste any more time and money on marketing if you're not converting these leads. It's just too competitive, it's too crowded, and it's too expensive not to do everything within your control to convert these internet leads into paid procedures. So here's the reality. Only a very small minority of patients are ready to book now. Plastic surgery is a pretty big deal. Most patients ponder this decision for a long time. When I interview patients for my book, they told me they waited years before actually pulling the trigger. So they're interested in solving a problem they believe they have, but they may not be ready yet due to fear, doubt, and uncertainty. So they research some more, they think some more, and they continue to procrastinate. The question becomes, do you have a plan to stay in front of these pondering patients so they choose you when they're ready? If not, you're throwing money down the drain that could have been yours with minimal effort. Now, if you need help with any of the areas I just talked about, I have a solution for you and your staff. Check out the Converting Club at www.convertconsultations.com, where I personally train your coordinator to be a converting rock star.